It's true. We're putting $1 million into cryptocurrency in the next 12 months. In this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the foundational reasons why we're doing that and set the stage and set the tone for you to start learning a little bit about cryptocurrency in case it's a futuristic vision that comes to the present for you today. So a lot of people have been asking me over the last couple of years, hey, what do you think about cryptocurrency? I mean, it goes in waves. People ask me about pot stocks, then they ask me about cryptocurrency, and cryptocurrency just doesn't seem to be the question that's going away. And over the last 8 or 9 years, I've been researching it. Now, I'm going to admit to you that I haven't bought much cryptocurrency in the last 10 years. I didn't buy it when it was a dime or a dollar or $10 or $100 or even $1,000. I just didn't. I'm not an early adopter. I'd rather let other people take the arrows at the front of the battle than me and my clients to take those arrows. But there's been a period of time where I've been researching really hard to find out if there's value in cryptocurrency. And I think there is. And I'm going to talk about why I think there is. Let's start with the basics. The Federal Reserve is printing money. Now, I believe that you're like a kid, right? At 5 years old, if somebody gives you a $100 bill, you're like, woo, picture of Benjamin Franklin. Like, that's all it is to you. There's no value. You didn't work for it. You don't really understand what it's all about. And so it doesn't have a huge amount of value for you. And then when you start working, maybe you're 16, 17, you're waiting on tables and you're staying up late and you're getting home late and all that kind of stuff. Well, there's some value there because you had to work for that value. And because you had to work for it, you appreciate it more, right? And so you can't have something for nothing in life, right? You just can't. There's just a finite number of resources that are available to us, and you just can't print money out of the air. And that's what the Fed has been doing for the last, more than 100 years now. We're accelerating the pace. The Fed is now printing more money in the last couple of years than they've done in the last, since the dollar has existed, right? And so that just, we don't appreciate it anymore. And what you get is that lack of appreciation in the form of inflation. You've noticed inflation. I know you have. I know you've noticed your gas go from $2 to $3. You've noticed the price of chicken and beef and food in general go much, much higher than it was. You've noticed the price of even used cars, which used to be, half the price of new cars a couple of years old. Now, used cars are not declining anymore. Why? Because there's just not a lot of new cars, and there's a shortage. So there's inflation. So even new cars are costing more. Used cars are costing basically what they cost when they were new in some cases. And so you're getting inflation through every part of society, right? Maybe just in TVs, we're getting a deflationary trend. But, there's a lot of inflation in a lot of things that we buy: food, energy, education. And that's because the government is buying your vote. Let's start with that. They're buying your vote. They're saying, oh, don't worry, sit at home, don't work, we're going to pay you. And even when the pandemic is seemingly over, they're still saying, no, we don't want you to come back to work. Stay at home. We'll give you enhanced unemployment benefits. Well, that's free money, right? So then you don't appreciate your money. You probably have a little self-worth issue, but that's a whole different video. And you don't appreciate the value. So the value goes down of the dollar. Okay, so that's what's going on. So if you don't put the value of the dollar to work, right? If banks don't pay you enough money to keep your money in the bank, right? You're going to put your money in some asset, whether it's real estate, you're seeing skyrocketing real estate prices, or whether it's stocks and bonds and commodities, and you're seeing skyrocketing things, or even Bitcoin, which I'm going to talk about in just a second. You saw skyrocketing Bitcoin in the last year. That's because the government is not making it an environment where savers can do well because they're printing so much money. They're telling you it's only 3 to 5%, but you and I both know that that's a lie. You and I both know that the price of gas went from $2 to $3, and that's a 50% increase. You know that the price of education is ridiculous, right? You know that the price of a lot of assets is just plain wrong, right? It's just going out of control. And so since 1913, to give you a number on it, the value of the dollar is going down 96%. And what does that mean? Well, that means that the dollar today is only worth about 4 cents. Think about that from where it was. Now let's fast forward today. That's the basics, right? That's the basics of the economy. When there's value that's not being created, that value has to go somewhere, right? And so where it normally goes, it goes into hard assets, like I mentioned: real estate, stocks, bonds, those kinds of things. But even those stores of value have huge amounts of volatility. People normally, put money into gold, right? Because gold always keeps the same value. You can always buy the same number of goods and services with gold you could 1,000 years ago, right? In theory. And so gold has value to society. Silver has value to society. Platinum now has value to society. So let's start with that. And the U.S., going back 100 years through the Bretton Woods Agreement, became the reserve currency. We replaced the pound sterling. And the pound sterling was this British empire that for hundreds of years was conquering everybody, and everybody just kind of got ruled by the Brits. And that all changed after the war. The dollar became reserve currency. Why? Well, it started because the dollar was backed by gold. And then in 1971, Nixon took us off the gold standard, which means it was a floating rate. All right. And that allowed the governments to just start printing money with abandon. And that same thing's not just happening in the U.S. I talk about the U.S. because I'm from the U.S., but it's happening in Europe, Japan, China, et cetera. All the major Western countries are taking advantage of the ability to print fiat currency through something that they call modern monetary theory, which is just a bunch of bunk, right? So it's an excuse to be able to print more money. But we know, because now, that there's no value when you print more money. You're just adding a zero to the ledger, and all the banks get it, and they give the money out for free or for very cheap. Or they print money, and these dollar bills have more, there are more of them, so there's less value. Okay, so the U.S. government has been the reserve currency. Well, how do you think the world's going to feel when they're starting to trade this currency that's not being managed properly, right? When our country's not being managed right, the dollar backing it up, yeah, it's used to trade back and forth, but now the U.S. government just seems to be printing them at will. There's no value. There's no stored labor behind it. And so whenever they want to go buy something, you just print a bunch more capital. Same thing happens to you. And so it has less value. How do you think the world's going to feel about that? At some point, we're going to lose our status as the world's reserve currency, and the dollar is going to plummet, right? And that's going to be bad. If you're holding dollars, you're holding anything in dollar-based assets and denominations, you're going to be in some serious trouble. Along comes Bitcoin. I want to talk about Bitcoin as an alternative gold standard, not so much as a currency, but as an alternative asset, as a hard asset. Instead of gold, people are now putting money into Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. And there's about 10,000 coins out there. And I'm not recommending you buy any of them unless you do your research. But what I am saying is that there are opportunities, there are pockets of opportunity. Imagine we went back to when the dollar was created and we were sitting around the table going, hey, you think this dollar thing they're talking about is a good idea? I bet if you put money into the dollar when the dollar was created hundreds of years ago, 100-something years ago, that you'd have made a ton of money over the last 100 years, right? Well, that's now reversing. So we're at the top of the heap there, and now the dollar is declining in value. And so these other currencies are getting created. They call them cryptocurrencies, right? Crypto. And to understand crypto, I want you to just think about crypto as a book. So let's say we're at Thanksgiving dinner and there's 10 or so people at the table, and all we do is write a story, and one person gets to put a paragraph in there or even a word or a sentence, and then we pass the book to the left, and the person to the left looks at the stuff that the person to the right wrote, and they go, yep, looks good to me. Let me add my part. And then the person to the right looks and says, yeah, that looks pretty good. That's what I wrote. And everybody kind of checks and balances as that gets passed around, and it becomes this thick book, this thick story, right? It can't really be changed because you're not allowed to go back and scratch anything out. People are going to be, hey, I wrote that. Don't be scratching that out. Well, imagine if those 10 people are 10,000 or 100,000, all validating that those entries are correct. That's called Bitcoin mining, or that's called mining in cryptocurrency. Verification of the transactions. And so if you can imagine the blockchain as the book, right? It's a chain of information that gets passed and built, and every transaction is in there and it doesn't ever get removed. And it can only be removed by the agreement of all the people. And when you have 10 people, that's easy to do. When you have millions of people or thousands of people looking at it, you have to get a lot of agreement in order to change things. So that's what makes cryptocurrency so safe. So people always ask me, well, can it get hacked? Well, the answer is there's always a possibility of something. The more mature that Bitcoin gets, or any other crypto gets, if the protocols are written correctly, the less able it is to be hacked and changed. And so that's an important factor. Now, some of the exchanges back in 2014 and since then have been hacked. Those are the exchanges, but you don't have to keep your money in an exchange. You can keep it in a wallet. And so people are asking me about that. Some of my high net worth investors are always asking me if they can invest in it because there's a lot to learn. I've been diving into this for 8 years, and I'm just now starting to build a portfolio in cryptocurrency. And there's a lot to it. Why? Because it's a whole new frontier. And so it's going to create opportunity for stores of value, right? If the US dollar keeps going crazy, right? They keep printing more money and people start to lose faith in it. They got to put their money somewhere. Well, gold doesn't seem to be going up that much right now. It's near its highs, but it's not going up like Bitcoin went up last year, right? Now, Bitcoin's certainly come down in the interim, and that's going to happen as it starts to get its footing as a store of value. But Bitcoin is going to be around because they're only going to make 21 million Bitcoins. They've made about 19 million of those so far, with only 2 more million able to be minted, and that's it. Everybody's agreed to it. That's the protocol. It's set in stone. It's not going to be changed. There's some certainty and security around that. Is it 100% foolproof? I don't know. I don't think so. But either is the dollar. Like, you got some dude printing money, right? Like, why is he the judge and jury about what our dollar is worth? Or it's some government that's saying, let's just give everybody some free money to sit at home and not work. It doesn't work, guys. And so people are starting to put their money into Bitcoin. So imagine if you had a bar of gold, and this is what you use to trade things, right? You go to the grocery store and they'd say, I'll sell you this bread. Chip off a little bit of that bar of gold and give me the bar of gold. Doesn't really work. And so that's why we've created this paper fiat money, right? But paper fiat money, like if you want to take it overseas and invest in a house over there, you've got to send it by wire transfer by design, but it's not easily transferred, right? It's not an easy thing to do. You've got to get an account, you've got to wire it, everybody's got to get approvals. There's a lot of red tape around sending and receiving money. But imagine if you could just put it in your Bitcoin wallet or your cryptocurrency wallet, and you had that wallet with you wherever you went, because it could be up here. You don't even have to have a wallet. You just have to have a code. And then you could take that asset anywhere in the world that you wanted. Instead of gold, it's cryptocurrency. So no time in history have we ever had a fungible, transferable, secure, limited amount asset like Bitcoin. So that's why I believe it's going to be around. And then that leads us to the final concept, which is freedom. So that ability to travel with your money gives you freedom, right? I don't know if you know this, but you can't really travel with cash. You can only take $10,000 worth of cash with you. Why is that? Anyway, I'll let you answer that question. There's a big run on people's money right now. People are coming after you, especially if you're wealthy, and they're taxing. Why? They got to pay for all this stuff they've printed for free, right? There's no value created for for nothing. Who are they going to come after? They're making the rich people the bad guys. My wealthy investors are freaking out. And that's why they're looking at alternatives. And there are major alternatives. You could buy gold, bury it in your backyard. But you know what? If you have to flee your house, it's still buried in your backyard. You can't really take it to Europe. Can't take it to Singapore. And so that's what's going on, is the ability to move that money around, to continue to do transactions without governments telling you what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, and taxing it. Those are some of the benefits. Now, I'm not telling you you're going to get away from taxes. I think everybody should have to pay their fair share of taxes. But I don't want somebody telling me what my fair share is if I make more than they do, right? I think a fair share should be, let's call it 4%. And don't get all controversial on me and start trolling my videos, please. But this is my opinion, and this is one of the reasons I think that Bitcoin is becoming so successful. And one final thought: you're going to hear a lot of bad things about Bitcoin, right? And whenever I talk to people about them, I'm not trying to convince them. I'm saying, here's what I'm doing. If you want to do it, great. But what they'll say is, well, yeah, but Bitcoin is being used by a lot of criminals. It's being used for cybercrime and ransomware. Cash is too. What do we think? There's no crime that happens with cash? Do we think it's not even easier with cash? Like, cash is easy to move around, especially in small amounts. So it's going to always be crime. Like, crime is not a new thing, guys. So don't listen to this negative stuff about the government's freaking out about it, because the governments are out there creating their own cryptos. Okay. It's called CBDC. It's called central bank digital currency. And so they're trying to get in the game too, because they know that the game is over in these old fiat currencies. I don't think it's going to make much change because they're not going to be able to get their brain around it. So don't listen to the naysayers that say that it's bad. There's going to be a lot of bad press about it, and that's why there's volatility, and Elon Musk and making people like that making comments about it, and that's going to create volatility. That's okay. That's part of when things get created. Think about Microsoft stock when it first came out, or Tesla stock when it first came out. Anything that's out there and is cutting edge, it's going to move around a lot because people are going to be swayed by emotions. Don't be swayed by emotions. I believe that cryptocurrency is here to stay. I don't know who the winner is. I happen to believe that, if I had a choice to invest in software, soft drink companies, I'd choose Coca-Cola, and Bitcoin is the Coca-Cola of the digital currency space. And Ethereum is probably the Pepsi-Cola. And then after that, there's 998 other currencies or crypto, currencies that we can look at. Some are tied to the dollar and euro and those other things too. So there's lots of cool stuff out there that cryptocurrency space is creating. It's an innovative, exciting thing. And I encourage you to get involved with it. And I encourage you to start getting invested in it a little bit, because if you're invested in it, that means you're going to learn about it. And so those are the reasons that we're putting, $1 million to work in the cryptocurrency space, and probably more as we move forward. But I wanted to give people a kind of a sense of why we're doing it. And I hope that helped you.
How can we help you? 5 ways. First, subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell below to make sure you get our new video the minute it comes out. Second, get a copy of my book, Hacking Money, and you'll learn a system for creating wealth through passive income so that you can build the lifestyle of your dreams. Click where it says book below. Third, if you want to hit the ground running, or if you want to learn how to invest from someone with over 44 years of investing success, click the products and programs link below. Fourth, if you want to accelerate your path to increase your wealth, consider joining one of my ecosystems. I have mentorships and mastermind programs for learning that are practically guaranteed to make you a successful investor. Or if you want to travel the world and learn from me and other multimillionaires on the path to greatness, you should consider joining my elite mastermind group. Fifth, if you want some help right now because you have a burning issue, you need something solved, you want to create massive passive income, or you want to accelerate your results in your investments, or maybe you just want personalized mentorship to build the lifestyle of your dreams, we can help. Maybe you're a multimillionaire who just wants someone else to handle some of your investing decisions and you want to invest in one of my funds. Whatever it is for you, click on the link below where it says Become a Client. All those links are below. You create your world, nobody else. And remember, never give up your power in your health, your wealth, or your time.